Feed me more.
Wrestling, porn, and an Asian. This show's over because it's different. Know what I mean? And now it's time for a conversation with the big guy, pal.
Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. I am the big guy, Ryback, and I'm sitting here with the third wheel, or the one and only, maybe my only, Asian Joe.
I am right here.
How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
I am good. I just got reminded to shut my volume off on my phone like a professional. We're sitting here in the podcast room testing things out. Getting a feel for how it's
I know, it's so weird. We're not
looking at a wall in front of us.
Yeah, we're not in your kitchen,
you
know?
I made a drink tonight. I'm feeling good. We got to get a couple more things for this, but we are near completion, and I wanted us to have a dry run in here with me and you.
Yeah.
And Phoenix, but
Phoenix is
unfortunately
nowhere to be found.
Well,
found her.
Phoenix was supposed to be joining the show after her Cam Soda thing, which got canceled. She notified us when we messaged her to do the call-in so that we could do the podcast. And she notified us. What did she say, Asian Joe?
I'm at the game.
And my phone has 20% battery.
20% battery.
I felt like at the game was enough, though. I wasn't expecting her to, which would be pretty funny.
Actually, yeah, that'd be kind of cool if she actually Skype in the show.
Can you go plug your phone in upstairs and do an hour phone call with us, please? That might be the thing we should have done and just ruined the game for her because she blew off the podcast to go to the hockey game. I don't understand it, but it's we are all right because tonight we're going to do something. We're mixing it up a little bit tonight. I got my main man, the guy in the trenches, the guy out there getting all the dirt. He's one of the greatest wrestling fans I know. Ace Mike Malero.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Is joining us live right now, and he has a lot of interesting wrestling news. A big week in the wrestling world, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, definitely. How you guys doing today?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Good, doing really good.
You got a big day tomorrow. You said. What's going on? You told me alcohol. Yeah. My ears perked up.
We're doing a big St. Patrick's Day party here. My wife's cooking corned beef and cabbage. She's making Irish car bombs. You know, there'll be a lot of booze flowing here tomorrow night.
What time do you guys start drinking? Is it immediately upon waking up, gargling with a little whiskey?
Probably about 6 tomorrow.
A.M. or P.M.?
PM.
Okay. Just checking. I thought you guys went hard on the paint.
Now.
Up
that's
at 5, drinking by 6, just tanked by afternoon. All right, Ace, what's going on this week in the world of wrestling? There's a lot of news out there this week.
I guess we'll jump right into John Bravo. I mean, all week John Bravo had been teasing that he was going to be launching his his 25-minute documentary this week on Friday to implicate Roman Reigns and 15 other current and former wrestlers as past customers of Richard Rodriguez and his company, Wellness Fitness Nutrition. And how we were kind of waiting for the video all week. It literally posted about 9:30 my time, so about, I guess, an hour ago. And so I watched it. And, it was interesting. Bravo started. He said,
I
come on here and make
a
statement.
I was curious to what you thought. I watched the whole thing, too, right before we started this.
Yeah. I mean, Bravo made it clear from the beginning. He said, he's not going to say anything he can't back up. So, I mean, he went through, pretty thorough details of how he was doing the investigation. It seems that he has one of Robert Rodriguez's laptops. And going back to February 2016, and he was able to verify, the key players in it seem to be Rick Bassman, who's a promoter and agent. He's worked with everyone from John Cena to Ultimate Warrior, trainer Tony Morris. And the names he listed were pretty substantial. You had everyone from
That's what I was going to ask you, Ace, because when I watched that, I thought it was a very good first video, and the names, and I took jotted down some notes from this. The main names that I got from this, and again, he hasn't said anything further, anything than names in people being involved. But wrestler-wise was John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Sheamus, Jinder Mahal, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and then Daniel Puder worked for him. And also Chris Bell, who I believe is the bigger, stronger, faster guy, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Was that accurate? Those names that he listed on there, as far as
That's exactly,
potential clients.
that's exactly what I'm on my list yet too. Yes.
Okay.
Basically, he said he was connecting it through like trainers like Chris Cavallini, who Jinder actually did say Chris Cavanelli was the one who helped transform him for his return to WWE. I mean, like I said, it was interesting because what he said, everything he had here, he said he can basically verify up till February 2016. He's saying, some of the things like Roman Reigns, he needs the later laptops and phones, which are still with the DEA. So
which they mentioned that those are going to be released at a future date, and he will have all of those for that stuff. And I know Roman and Wahlberg were the two that he really, in his words, hasn't been able to cross-reference to the levels that he feels comfortable to be 110% sure that they are the ones as far as everything goes. But is it Chris Cavallini? These guys were putting in massive orders. Is that correct? These certain people?
Yeah, 40,000. Chris Cavallini's order was $40,000. There was another guy, Jesse. I didn't get his last name. He was actually purchasing as Jesse Ventura, but they said it was not the actual Jesse Ventura. They said his order was about $40,000 too. And
these are the guys that have connections to the WWE guys, or the actors, or the different people. Essentially, these guys putting in the big orders, and then it kind of branches out from there. From what I gathered watching the video, is that correct?
Yeah, they seem to be trainers or guys who were promoters who had established histories with these wrestlers. So
yeah, that's it's very interesting. I mean, I'm really anticipating the next videos, and it's a lot of people will get upset. Well, who are you to say anything about it? I'm not saying anything about anyone, what they're doing. That's a personal preference, anyone doing that. I'm shocked, if anything. We've spoken about it before, and I've done nothing but put over the wellness policy. But there were some holes in it that I'd always heard from other people for different things. And I think it's going to give them an opportunity to tighten that up the way that it needs to be tightened up and to evolve, because obviously there's stuff going on and whatnot, and it's unfortunate. But I thought that guy did a great job on a first video, kind of breaking down how he, I think some people are probably going to get upset that he didn't give more on the first one, but this guy he clearly knows what he's doing, and it's unfortunate. It truly is. That I wish that that wasn't the case, and again, it doesn't make anyone a bad person or anything, but it's kind of, I always say this with wrestling too, the schedule up there doesn't help people as far as,
sure.
But there's a right way to do things and a wrong way, and you go to a board certified. This is from what I did when I was there, and everything through and working with the WWE, is going through a board certified endocrinologist, and your hormone levels are kept in the normal range, in which most men, once they get into their late 20s or early 30s, have low testosterone these days. It is a common fact, and it is, having low testosterone is so bad for you in so many ways. And I wish, and this is something that in WWE with people, I wish they would evolve the program even further. I know there were multiple people there and talents there that would come and ask me about it. I was very open. I've always been very straightforward as far as in being on TRT and when I was there, and in that it's not taking steroids or abusing steroids, it's having normal testosterone levels. And there were guys that were denied that had low testosterone, why I don't know. And I wish they actually had a program through WWE where they're doing this wellness testing program, and the program is legit, but there are holes in it, obviously. On this, there are big holes in it that need to be addressed. But I wish they would offer a TRT program through the WWE for all the male talent, because with the travel, the stress of eating on the road and diet and the limited sleep that you get in performing and the long drives, every guy up there more likely than not suffers from low testosterone, outside of maybe until your first couple of years up there. But eventually that kind of stuff wears on you. And I wish they actually had a in-house program or working with somebody through board certified endocrinologists that kept everybody. It would prevent things like this from happening, I feel like. And it's unfortunate, but I think down the road they will eventually. But that's my take on it.
Well, Ryan, is there a rule or something like that if you get caught with steroids? Is there a suspension, or like what's WWE's policy as far as if you get caught? With
So there's your first offense is a 30-day suspension without pay. The second offense is 60 days without pay, and a third offense is 90 days. Or third offense, I believe you're fired.
Okay,
I'll take that back. And but then they put a stipulation in there, and Ace, maybe you know more about this. I remember there was a revision in the program when I was there that after, I don't know if it was after 1, 2, or 3 years, and don't quote me on that, I don't know the exact number, but after a certain period of time, your offenses get taken off, and you start over. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I heard it too. I mean, I don't know the specifics, but I've heard similar things. Yeah.
And that's so, because I remember having to sign something, all of us, on a revision on the program,
right?
Multiple times for that. So
if WWE didn't find them being caught with steroids, will this documentary be considered?
It should. Well, they've done that in the past.
Okay.
But probably depends on the talent.
Okay.
And it probably depends exactly what comes out. This is very, very interesting. And it's something that needs to be addressed. And it's like, I've been very open with people about my early years from 20 to 24, around that, where I experimented with steroids, and they're no good. It's horrible. And it's an adolescent mindset. And it's what happens when you compare yourself to other people. That you end up making choices that aren't the best choices for yourself. But so this is it all goes, you're in this competitive environment.
Right.
Vince McMahon likes guys that are in shape.
Of course.
But they're pushing people now that aren't in shape. They more so than ever. So it's like, it's almost like what it's this weird thing. And I just sometimes, it's like if you are who you surround yourself with at times, and not everybody is. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, but like, you have people making bad decisions because other people are making bad decisions,
right.
And they're just trying to keep up, and it's just a vicious cycle. And that's why I think when you have drug testing, it has to be either all in or you just no. But I would prefer it to be all in. Like, and for myself, I'm more than confident how I look naturally and how I look without or on TRT. Within normal ranges. Hell, on low testosterone, I'm 275 pounds, 270 pounds. It's not, I just wish, but it sucks. That's what happens when you're in a competitive environment and money's on the line. And I thought this whole thing was very interesting though. I'm looking forward to seeing more on it, and what I think the guy, he's obviously putting in the work, and he's not jumping the gun on anything. And again, I never in a million years would have thought, and I don't know, again, with Roman, that's a shocker to me.
Well, do you think these guys are going to own up to it, or do you constantly deny it?
Again, I think it depends on how he presents everything. If it's just, the best thing anyone can do is just accept it. Yep, I did this. Yeah. When you don't do that is where you really, it's unfortunate. But and again, wrestling, and a lot of people this is what I talk about with pro bodybuilding and stuff. And then guys like The Rock getting associating with the Mr. Olympia, and it sucks, man. It sucks. We are in a day and age where we can influence young people not to make the same stupid mistakes we made because we thought it was cool Arnold Schwarzenegger did steroids. Mm-hmm. That man, and I love Arnold's work ethic, but it wasn't, more people were influenced to do steroids over Arnold Schwarzenegger than probably anybody else in the history of mankind. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. It sucks. Like, and I'm one of them when I was young. And we've seen that this stuff isn't good. We now know that there's stuff to make you healthy and you can use responsibly and this and that we should be more geared to learning from the mistakes of the past and evolving as we move on in the future rather than repeating the same mistakes.
Right.
And it's not happening that way. And it's just like, well, there's drug testing in place. Well, how can we get around it? How about we just focus on being as healthy as possible and not, you know what? Fuck it. I might be 30 pounds lighter than what guys were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But guess what? I'm not going to die when I'm 50 years old now. I'm not going to die when I'm 49 years old, 45 years old. But again, I think creating an in-house program to keep guys in the optimal zone and healthy would be the best thing that they could do. And I think they need to, whatever drugs come out that were not being tested for, I think they need to take care of that, tighten those holes up. The wellness program is great. It changed me. I'm telling you straight up, I've said it before on this show. When I was 24, 25, and after they implemented the wellness program and I popped, I learned my fucking lesson. No more. Mm-hmm. It wasn't worth it. It was put the fear of God in me, like as far as I don't want to lose all this for fucking trying to, like, it's not worth it. And whatever the rules need to be, it needs to be a level playing field for everybody. And no, I'm glad this guy's doing this though. And as far as, because I think it raises awareness and everyone needs, health should be the number one priority, in my opinion.
That makes sense. There was actually a story on WrestlingNews.com related to you in this story.
Oh God!
Really? It's a funny story, and it's actually accurate for a change. The Ryback is the big guy, and he's also a pretty funny guy to boot. It turns out his sense of humor is also quite sharp as well. Even though Ryback isn't presently shouting "Feed me more" in a WWE ring, it appears he's certainly keeping up on hot button issues such as the upcoming John Bravo documentary, which promises to link 15 WF superstars from the past and present with accused and convicted steroid dealer Richard Rodriguez. He's also still good friends with WWE superstar Rusev. During a live video on Instagram where Rusev and Lana were just having fun being themselves, the big guy popped up and asked, "Are you involved in this steroid scandal? I can't have you involved in my company if you're involved in this Bravo stuff," Ryback said.
Yeah, I got a little bit of hate for that.
Yeah, I saw.
It's so this is again, because I actually on the Q&A part of the show I was going to address this, but I can't state enough. Rusev is one of my favorite people in the world, and I'm outside of, there's everyone there at WWE. I got along with really well outside of a couple people that we've talked about, and even them I can be friendly with. There was an article too that came out. It was something, because this all started with Rusev. If you've noticed, WWE superstars, wrestlers, people, when you're friends with somebody, you leave comments occasionally on a post they make or something, and it's funny because you're friends with them. But I guess that I can't play by the same rules as everybody because I'm a bitter, irrelevant piece of shit. But Rusev had made a comment at me one time when he had a workout video up with the Usos, two, again, great guys that I love everything about them. And where I made a comment, well, for a guy your size, I thought you'd be using a little more weight, in which he responded, I guess, and I left that comment, and then I was fucking going about my day, and I guess he made a comment where something about me not being natural. Or something where that was kind of, with my time there, we joked about that stuff all the time. Because when you're friends with somebody, you bust each other's balls and you have fun. And that's what friends do. So I simply retaliated with that. I fucking sit down to ice my back on the couch, and I open the Instagram and I see Rusev is live. Oh, my good buddy Rusev, who I video chat with and text with on a weekly basis. And in which the big guy's here. So I leave my comment in which Rusev, instantly I could see with the smirk on his face. He got so then he goes, I just want to make one thing clear, and I don't know the exact verbiage, but he ended up saying, he goes, guys, me and Ryback have no beef or something along the lines of that. And or anything. I want to squash anything. These people, though, he was planning on getting off the thing anyways, but he put the heat on me saying that I'm causing the Instagram feed to shut down because he's getting off because I've offended him so much, in which we were texting with afterwards, and he's laughing and fucking like it. But people get so upset over, they think that bitter Ryback is attacking Rusev. God damn it, I love Rusev. He's one of my best friends. I talk to the guy consistently and just, I wish, it's like you can't even have fun sometimes, and people, they just, I hope you fucking die. It's like, why? Because I'm having fun with my friend, I'm sorry. But it's one of those unfortunate things. That report was actually fairly accurate. I read a couple others that they didn't acknowledge Rusev saying, they said Rusev blocked me and that he instantly got off his feed. That was, yeah. This is what I talk about with like journalists and people and media stuff, where there's this like agenda to try to put this image of me out there of just completely. And
can you have him on the show?
I would love to.
Yeah,
I actually got an email from a guy that's been talking shit about me for years.
Really? Who
came up with a lie saying that we requested he pay me thousands of dollars to do his show. And they recently just sent an email, said, we can pay you $300 when you come on our show. We want to paint you in a positive light. After they've done nothing but shit talk me for years. And like, just, what's wrong with people? It's just like, God damn it. I took a screenshot of it because I just want it for evidence.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on.
No,
man.
I said, yeah, maybe a couple.
I would love that. Here's the thing, and I can tell you with like this, since I've left WWE, and even when I was there, this hate in the small percentage of people. So when you defend yourself, though, on things, they don't like that.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it's essentially they slap you, you slap them back with truth, and then what do they want to do? They want to slap you back again.
Yeah.
So it's this never-ending cycle of how many shitty articles can we come out with on Ryback that are completely the opposite of the truth going on? And it's like, I'll be the first one to admit if they fucking get something dead right. I'll you got me. But it's like, come on, like report the facts, guys. That one wasn't bad, though, actually. I'm glad they mentioned we were friends.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, I think you'd enjoy this one. So
I'm glad you picked the right one out of the other 100 that were just horrible. All right, what else is going on, Ace?
I wanted to update a story we talked about last week about Tony Schiavone's podcast, What Happened When. This week, Tony actually talked about exactly why he's leaving the podcast. He has a listener who's taken it upon themselves to send clips he deems offensive to Schiavone's real-life employers to try to get him fired. Schiavone does everything from podcast commentary for baseball, basketball, football, and this guy just every time he finds something sexist or what he deems offensive, he goes out of his way to send it to their employer saying, "You need to fire this guy. Look at this asshole who's working for you." So I mean, so what kind of scumbag do you have to be to do this?
So it's one thing if you're leaving like comments, if it's like where if you leave a comment on someone's page, like go kill yourself or something, and you get reported for that. Like I'm all for that.
Right.
Like this sucks, and this is one of those things. I really wish that there's some really, really great wrestling fans, and then there's others that are it's bad, man, and people don't understand it. They don't. It's this guy when you have a podcast too, and you have an opportunity to talk to your fans and to tell stories and have fun. And then you have people out there that want to just ruin your life and that they just hate the idea of you. Like, why? The guy, I've listened to his show. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I listened to a lot of the early ones and I really, really enjoyed it. And he had inside information for a time period that when I was watching on TV, which was cool to kind of tie everything up with that played out on TV and what was going on behind the scenes. And I never remember him making any comment. Like, I can only imagine the comment he was trying to report is like, because what's the deal with Tony too? Sorry, because he has a regular job. Is it at Starbucks?
No, he's actually a commentator for like the Braves organization.
I don't know why. Why did I think he would? I apologize. I thought he had he did it for the benefits or something. I don't know why I thought that.
he'd said something about that he'd worked at Starbucks for a while, but he lately he's been doing like commentary like for different baseball, football, basketball. That's what he's been doing the last chunk of time.
That's it. It's so unfortunate, man. It shouldn't be like, and nor should a person like that have the power to do anything, especially when I wish that wouldn't be. I wish that could be smoothed over with whoever's in charge, but I think it's one of those things, like if somebody keeps, or if that guy has other people calling in and whatnot, that then it starts like, well, what's going on here? What's going on? But you got to look at the source coming in, which, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Sure it looks like he's not having an impact on the job. It's just, like I said, it just Tony didn't want that aggravation. You can't blame him. I mean,
Absolutely not. He shouldn't have to go to work and have to answer to that. No. Yeah. And he never made comments that I thought everything was totally fine with how he ran that show and with Conrad. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Here's my favorite news story of the week: WrestleMania 35 coming to New York, New Jersey. Next year, we're getting WrestleMania back here. A couple of my friends were asking, is Ryback going to be here? So I promised them I'd ask you on the podcast. Are you going to be out here for WrestleCon or anything next year? Or I know it's early, but
yeah, we're going to redo me and Mark Henry at WrestleCon where I fall on my face again.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, you don't know about that?
No, I do not know about
the fuck you been,
I was there live for that match.
That was right before my big heel turn on John Cena. You don't remember that shit?
Fuck.
That was my WrestleMania moment, bro. Fucking me and Mark Henry beat him in the bench press competition. Tied him. Sorry, you threw the weight on me.
Okay.
Fake weights, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Fake wrestling?
Yeah. Go figure. I think there's still a Wikipedia out there. I have tied for the world record. Guys, it was on WWE TV. No way, shape, or form should that be the real deal. Although I have put 225 up when I was younger. I believe I got it 40-something times at my prime. Oh, wow. In my prime. No, it was... so I was... I don't want to get sidetracked about this, but it's a funny thing, Asian Joe, that I was my big babyface run, but I'd lost like 7 pay-per-views or 6 pay-per-views in a row. But this is what I was talking to you earlier about. And me and Mark Henry and the big guy versus the bigger guy, the world's strongest man. And the plans were the next night on Raw, the big Raw, for me to turn on John Cena and battle him for the WWE Championship for the next 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
And, they thought it was a good idea for me I tried to fight this and that when I picked Mark Henry up for my finisher, Shell Shock, that the weight was just too much for me, and he like grabs the ropes, and I had to trip and fall and face plant with Mark Henry on my shoulders, and that knocked me unconscious for him to pin me. You think about it, it's the worst fucking finish for your monster baby face that you could ever fucking possibly do. And people wonder why I share the truth with you. I live this shit. And like people go, don't go out there and do that. Don't go out there and do that. Well, I just talked to Vince. I have to go out there and do that. I'm a professional. Yeah. But I'm going to he comes back in, and then, so I not only had the pressure of picking him up and balancing and getting him over to the ropes, and he's a big fucking guy. I look like a child next to him. And then fall on my face, do that, and then he comes back to get me. And then I got to pick him up again and actually hit my finish after the match is over. Well, why didn't we just do that before so I have some momentum going into the championship match? Why am I the number 1 contender the next night when I just fell on my face in a fucking match, in a mid-card match on the fucking WrestleMania? It makes no sense.
Oh, my God.
But hey, I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
But, okay.
It's a pretty funny moment in my career, actually. Now I'll discuss all that in my tell-all book eventually.
All right, back to the...
All right, Ace, what else is going on?
Wait, no. You didn't finish... Are you going to the convention?
Oh, no, I'm making that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was just all a lie.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to Australia this year for 3 matches and hosting a WrestleMania party in Australia for Rock and Roll Wrestling during WrestleMania week, so I will not be at WrestleCon this year.
Okay.
Well, no, that's this year. I'm hoping for next year.
Next year, yeah. Who knows? I could be back by then. You never know. Stranger things have happened. I would love to just do that just to upset everybody. God damn it, what is he doing back? Just redo the match altogether. Same finish next year.
Oh, dear God.
It would be with Braun, though, and I just fall on my face.
Oh, there you go.
Alcohol's involved.
Change it up a little bit. All right, Ace, what else is going on in the wrestling world this week?
All right, just kind of want to do a little bit of WrestleMania preview. Coming out of Fastlane, we got it looks like everything's kind of solid up for WrestleMania. You got AJ facing Shinsuke Nakamura. Charlotte's going against Asuka. Looks like they're setting up some kind of match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You'll probably have Shane McMahon involved in some way. My favorite match they've announced so far, it looks like Braun's going to be taking on the Bar by himself for the tag titles. There's been speculation they may give Braun a surprise tag partner like Neville or maybe Kane. A couple people suggested Bobby Lashley because he's been rumored to sign a deal with WWE.
They like surprises at WrestleMania. That wouldn't be a shocker.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see Braun do it by himself. I think that would just feel like you've never seen before.
Yeah, no, that would be a cool WrestleMania moment for him, and they've done a good job with him. He's and he's done a good job with everything, so I'm very happy for him.
The other thing we still got going on is John Cena can't find a match for WrestleMania. We didn't get to talk about this when this started, but the John Cena storyline's been all over the place, and I just can't get behind it. Once again, he's challenging the Undertaker. Although I was told that match would be impossible. It just doesn't work. I mean, it's just hard to watch. And I usually don't mind Cena, but it's been like, oh my dear God, just figure out where we're going.
Yeah, I caught part of that. I don't know. I saw his thing with the Undertaker too. Sometimes though, everyone knows things are changed week to week there, and sometimes things are done just to survive to get to the next week. And there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of writers. There's one guy approving everything. Things get changed constantly up to while the show is going on. And sometimes they just find the best solution to get through the night and to get to their hotel rooms and pass out to get up the next morning and be able to figure out how to make it make any sense whatsoever, even if it doesn't make sense. So that sometimes is the way things work up there. Sometimes, all the time. So for the most part, but I think that seems to be the direction they're going, and I think it's a match that, if that's Undertaker's last match, then that's what it is. So we'll see. I don't really. It has been all over the place, but sometimes it's all over the place just to get to the next week, and I've always said pro wrestling has never really made much sense. If you really go back and look, occasionally, and this is just my opinion. Pro wrestling has always been ridiculous. Things don't always make the most sense. Every once in a blue moon, something fucking makes sense. And what usually happens when something makes sense, it gets messed up. Because wrestling is ridiculous. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. And that's why we all love it. But wrestling is ridiculous. So it's never, so sometimes trying to make sense of stuff that just isn't meant to make sense, you're just hitting your head saying stupid. So it's almost not worth it. But I understand your frustrations.
I've heard Bruce Pritchard say, you can't put logic in an illogical situation.
Yeah. It really, the guy's spot on. He's spot on. The things some people get upset at, you're just like, guys, just live life, love yourself, love your family. Just watch this shit and be happy. Get drunk if you have to and watch it. Just. It's not rocket science. It never was, and it never will be.
The one story a lot of people on Instagram were wanting to hear you talk about was the fabulous Moolah Battle Royal situation. Have you been keeping up with that?
I did see that, yes.
So basically, in recent years, there's been a lot of accusations against Fabulous Moolah, ranging from she demanded women basically pay up 35 to 50% of their earnings to her to ensure they'd get booked. And in a lot of cases, they said she was acting as a pimp, basically providing male wrestlers with female wrestlers who didn't realize what they were getting into. So WF decided to name the match the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, and it got a huge backlash against people. They ended up changing the name. My favorite statement, though, was Stephanie McMahon. She said, "Thank you, WWE Universe, for using your voice. What remains most important is that the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal will be a historic match and is part of WWE's unwavering commitment to our women's division. Hashtag change the name."
Well done, Steph. No, it's unfortunate. I was completely, I was unaware of all that. I didn't know anything when my buddy was telling me about it this week. JD with Iron Attitude, the guy that does my weight belts. And I go, what? I said, why would they name that the name if that's even remotely known? Like, and I guess I don't. Sometimes I wonder, like, how it's unfortunate. I think they did a good thing. They did the right thing. They changed the name. It probably should never have been there to begin with, but it's they did the only thing, because I think what happened was people started complaining to Snickers,
Yes,
the main
yep.
sponsor, which then that triggered them. When you're dealing with big companies like that, they're not gonna have that on their end. They okay, we need this fixed. So that is why that probably got fixed as quickly as it did. I just wonder sometimes why they go through with things if there's any possible repercussions, but it's no shocker. But I'm glad they changed it.
Kind of a story that bummed me out. Jeff Hardy was arrested for a DWI last week. Jeff basically got, seemed like he had got his life cleaned up again, but they said he crashed his car, $8,000 in damages. The WF immediately jumped on it. Jeff Hardy's responsible for his own actions. We're investigating the matter and awaiting information from local law enforcement. But it just bums me out. You really felt like Jeff had been getting his life back together. He got married, had a kid, and it's just sad to hear this happen. Kind of again with Jeff Hardy.
It sucks, and you can't defend anybody for doing that. And he's been through things in the past. The only possible nobody should pass judgment. It sucks, and he's responsible for his life. Especially with things today, with Uber and things. We have, and money's not an issue, obviously, for him. That's why you got to make intelligent decisions. As far as, there's nothing wrong with going out and getting tanked and having a good time. I don't think anyone's going to get upset over that. But when you do that and then get behind a wheel, and then you're not only putting yourself but other people in jeopardy and their lives in jeopardy, that's where the problem lies. And with things like Uber now and different, it sucks, man. And I wish it didn't happen. The only thing I can think of, though, is, he's been injured and he's had a lot of downtime. And he's probably, what happens, this is and I've experienced this a little bit when I left WWE, and you go from being busy, and then you got to, you have time on your hands where you don't have anybody telling you where to be or what to do. And it's a lot easier to make bad decisions. And that, unless you have other things where you can really, really hone in on and focus on. And the only thing I can think of, and it's not defending him by any means, but he had some free time before going back on the road because he's getting ready to get cleared, or he's been cleared, and he just took things a little too far, and it sucks. And Jeff's a good guy, and I think, and I've met him several times. I've wrestled with him, and I hope everything works out in his favor. And again, there's nothing wrong with having drinks. I think just using the technology we have, things like Uber, get a cab, anything, just avoid getting behind the wheel if at all possible. So, but we're all human. Everybody makes mistakes, and I hope he gets back on track, because the guy can go, man.
Yeah. Get your thoughts on Matt and Bray doing Ultimate Deletion on this week's Raw? I'm still not sure if Broken Matt Hardy can be duplicated in WWE. I mean, it worked before, but I just don't know if they're going to give him that kind of control like they did in Impact, where they just let them basically do what they wanted. They created some really crazy TV.
That's the thing, is no, it won't be duplicated. There will be elements of it that are the same, that will remind you of things that he had done. But before, he had total control over the things he was doing, supposedly. And it wasn't, I'm sure he's been very vocal about ideas and doing things. But at the end of the day, it's still, you're working for another person now. And at the end of the day, and with Vince and Hunter and other people involved, they're going to, no matter what he says, other people are going to critique it and think, well, what do you think of this? And it's going to get passed around. It's going to get changed. That's what people do there. And so it's never going to be exactly what he wants, even though there might be parts of it that are. It's a whole different environment. I think the main thing is he's there, he's on TV, and he seems to be happy to be back. And I'm sure he's making a good amount of money being there for his family. So he's a good guy, man. It's it's never going to be exactly what it is when you're calling the shots because you're answering to other people. So
that makes sense. All right, our last story tonight. I wanted to talk about Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. Last year, they announced they were going to do the biggest independent show ever, and they've finally announced it's going to be September 1st in Chicago's Sears Center.
All right.
A venue. It seats 11,000 people. They already announced Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Stephen Amell from the Arrow is going to be there. He had a match with Cody Rhodes a couple years ago. It's being billed as the biggest independent show of all time. Can an indie show draw 11,000 people?
I really hope they're successful at this. I think that'll be great. Does Kenny Omega have an opponent yet for this?
I don't think they really haven't announced any matches for it. I mean, I like Cody.
I want to challenge Kenny Omega right now for All In. Kenny Omega, the big guy, wants to fucking shell shock you at All In. Balls in your court. That would be I think it's. I'm happy for them all. I think that's Cody's done a great job since leaving WWE in doing other things in wrestling, and it's. I don't know. It's gonna be a big task. They might need a big guy to help draw a few more people there. So we'll see.
All right, that's all I got this week.
All right,
Mike, do you want anything to plug?
Yeah, you can find Ace Mike Malero on criticalblast.com. This week we're featuring the trailer for Avengers: Infinity War. Hey, did you guys get to do your movie week last week?
No, unfortunately, no. But
no, I went to Black Panther. I went on a date to Black Panther though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
the day is a lot better than going out with me and Phoenix. I see.
Everybody had something else going on.
I know. Like. Well, yeah, but we can never get.
Phoenix doesn't even want to do the show anymore, so it just might be me and you, Asian Joe, and Ace. I'm telling you, Ace, you might be the third. I'm gonna get an Ace. I'm gonna get a mannequin made.
Yeah, we're gonna get like a cutout of you and putting in a chair.
Put you in the chair. She decides just to go to hockey games up and outside of commitments to the show. So I don't know right now. Big guy has a little thinking to do, but it's no. I think I liked the movie. It was a hell of a movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of action.
I thought it was going to go on way longer than it did. I got scared because I thought it was going to keep going.
Oh, really?
It ended just when it needed to end.
Oh,
for
okay,
me.
Yeah. Well, like the first 45 minutes, it just went. It was a little slow, right? Yeah. But like it built up.
It set it up though for the end. Strong finish.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, very happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I went. But Ace, thank you for joining this week, and we'll catch up with you next week and on the wrestling news. And have a good night. Don't drink too much on St. Patty's Day here for your party, and we'll talk to you next week, buddy.
No promises. All right.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages.
All right. I am the ultimate Ryback, and I'm here to tell you about Feed Me More Nutrition. It is the ultimate premium in sports nutrition. Wake up, unlimited energy. I take it non-stop, and I have all the unlimited energy from the gods above my blood. My skin, the energy is pouring through my system. The big guy, all natural testosterone booster will be giving you erections to the heavens. And if you need protein builds muscles upon muscles. I so hungry, premium grass-fed, prebiotic, enhanced whey protein isolate is what you need. Burn body fat with Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner, the most powerful fat burner on the market today. Feed me more nutrition. Save 10% with Podcast 10. Available on feedmemore.com and Amazon.
All right, we're back. We changed things up a little bit this week. And starting off hot with the wrestling news, a lot going on in wrestling. That's one of the things I was talking to you, Asian Joe. One of my reasons for bringing Mike Ace Malero on as our wrestling correspondent is we all have busy lives, everything going on, and you and Phoenix aren't necessarily as caught up on the current wrestling product.
For sure.
Love the glasses,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
I'll tell them more about it.
Where I want to, and our wrestling audience is, I'm very loyal and thankful for you guys, for our loyal wrestling audience, and wanted to give a little more content on the wrestling news, a little more of my thoughts on everything going on, and that will continue to be a bigger and bigger part of the show each and every week. So big thanks to Mike for coming through and for being available, and he does a great job with all that, and he's a great fan, and can't thank him enough. But what the hell's going on this week, buddy?
A lot, actually. Saturday, I went out to a restaurant called Blackout. It's it's a restaurant that serves you in the dark. So you're eating in the dark, not even seeing the food.
Explain to the people listening at home. You're wearing blackout glasses.
I am wearing blackout glasses.
I can't see your eyes at all. With
really?
with the green
on
the side.
So basically, it's a restaurant that actually it's a vegan place. It's a vegetarian place.
Okay.
But you're eating in the dark, and so you walk in, and they'll sign. You have to sign a waiver saying that.
How the fuck do you sign it?
No, I mean, before you go inside the restaurant.
Okay.
Before you walk in and it's still bright out, they have like a little like a hostess booth where you say, "Hey, I have a reservation," and then it's like, "All right, here's."
Is it reservation only?
No, you can walk in, but I would recommend reservations because it may get a little bit busy because it is one of our popular news.
I might have some questions on this for date.
Yes, for sure. in case one of your dates are not looking too hot, you know.
Hey, I know we said we were going to go to Spago, but I think we need to go to this place called Blackout.
So you sign a waiver, and all your cell phones, anything that emits light, you have to put away. So to give you a key, a lock with a key on, and then there's a lockers, and so you put all your phones and tablets or whatever into the locker, and you lock it up.
Okay.
And so then they'll your server will come out, introduce himself, and wearing these military night vision goggles.
Oh wow!
So these servers are walking around with night vision goggles inside.
I wonder how that is for 8-hour shifts or 10-hour.
Oh
shifts.
yeah, it's got to be. Well, I mean, they'll walk out and walk in. You're not wearing it the entire time.
Those toilet seats piss all over.
No, so they'll put you into like a little room and gives you the whole spiel. It's like basically you walk in, you hold the server shoulder, and if you have guests. Shoulder to shoulder, you hold each other. So as they walk,
you get to touch the server's shoulder.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Or whatever you want to feel,
Yeah, what are they going to do? Wasn't me.
Hey, I'm just trying to feel things out. That's all.
Sorry, I couldn't see. I don't have those sweet glasses on.
So yeah, the server will walk you to your table and basically instruct you on your surroundings.
So, question. I'm sorry if I missed this.
No.
You said, is it completely blacked out?
It's completely black. No, completely dark.
Okay.
No lights. The only thing you see is the green dot from the night vision goggles from the server.
Oh wow!
So you're sitting down and you're seeing floating. It's like fireflies floating around. So you're seeing it's pitch black, and so you're literally feeling around. It's like your glasses. So you have to make sure you don't spill anything.
Yeah.
Just slowly, but it heightens your senses. So you're hearing, you're touching, your sense of taste.
Yeah.
So it's a vegetarian place, but you when you bite into it, you don't know if it's meat or not.
Some of the vegetarian stuff they have now tastes.
They're
just
actually
like real meat,
really good. Yeah.
We're close to it.
And so I'm not. They don't tell you what it is.
Ooh.
So you're gonna have to. They'll describe the meal to you and how to eat it. Either finger food.
So you don't get to choose your.
No, there's no menu. It's a 6-course. The price is like $80 a person.
Okay.
It's a little pricey, but $80 per person, or I think $50 or $60 for lunch.
Question: are drinks included in that?
Yes. No. But they do serve drinks.
Okay.
The alcohol and stuff like that. So
taking notes for date night.
Yeah, date night.
Need to know. You got to know what the
and
budget is.
So they it's a 6-course meal. So they'll give you a little appetizer and drinks, and so you're tasting all this food.
And you don't know what you're eating before.
You don't know what you're eating.
Wow.
So you're trusting the server. You're trusting the restaurant.
Oof,
so
I
it's
don't know if I like that.
Yeah. So
oops, sorry, that was our octopus. What?
No, they'll tell you up front it's vegan or vegetarian.
Okay.
So, but it was a good experience. I was actually full.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Adriana Chechik. She's a porn girl.
You hang around some of the most beautiful women on the planet.
I do.
Asian
I have
Joe.
no idea. I have no idea how.
I feel like you need to message me more when you go out for things and just say, "Hey guys, just we do a podcast together." And I'll just eat my way in.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's like, hi, I'm
Ryback.
Yeah.
Hi. Yes.
But
he's so friendly.
Yes.
So big and like a big teddy bear.
Because she's a vegetarian, and she'll eat.
I'm a vegetarian too.
Yes, vegetarian.
As I just came from eating my wings.
For sure, but it's a good experience. If you're not afraid to try new things, I would definitely try it.
I'm gonna go there, Asian Joe.
Yeah, for sure.
I thank you for the recommendation.
Oh my God! Now
you couldn't see anything in those.
I could not see anything.
Stevie Wonder over here doing the podcast with me this week.
Yeah, they'll at the end of the dinner, they'll give you sunglasses as a novelty.
They should, for an upsell for that place, they should record the whole thing with night vision cameras.
I think they do.
And where you could purchase the video and watch yourself back.
I can't. As a server, I can't imagine like some guy is trying to like cop a feel on a girl or something like that, and then but they'll watch you and stuff like that.
Well, they can see everything.
They see everything, but I just can imagine like people spilling food or knocking shit over, and just seeing all that as a server.
If there was ever a restaurant to get away with anything, though, that's the place.
Well, I think I heard there was a CIS or NCIS show about something similar to where someone actually get murdered in one of those blackout restaurants.
Oh, really? It was a TV show.
It was a TV show, not
still real to me, damn it.
But the TV show where like they're interviewing the server is like, wait, what is the restaurant about? It's like, yeah, it's pitch black, so no one saw anything. It's like, nope.
Wow. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
That's for the recommendation.
Yeah, it's if you're curious where it is, it's on Valley View and Flamingo. No, it's right by Gold Coast.
Okay. Wow, Gold Coast. We used to go to the buffet when we were kids in the bowling alley.
Yeah. So it's
they still got the bowling alley there?
Yeah, the bowling alley is still there.
Man, that was a lot of memories from the Gold Coast buffet and the bowling alley. It just had to give me flashbacks, Asian Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I haven't been there in forever. That's near the Rio kind of too, right?
Yeah, that's right next to the Rio.
Man, I gotta have to go back over that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your next date will.
Hey, I got this great. Let's go to the Gold Coast.
No, it's a separate building. So
okay.
It's right next door.
I'm gonna check it out.
So how about you? What you been doing?
No, I've been busy. I've been training my ass off for this. I got my wrestling match on Saturday here next week.
Okay.
For against Mr. Grimm for Pro Wrestling Empire.
Where's that at?
In Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I got a pretty busy schedule coming up, and I was telling you, like, recording this show, and I did my last wrestling appearance in December and had to take some time off and had to cancel the India appearance. That was going to be my last appearance, the India one, before getting my ankle procedure done, which I had this all timed out because I knew how much time I needed, where it's like it wasn't a lot of time, but it's just enough time to get back in like peak shape for wrestling.
Right.
But I have to, like, my ankle, because you have to give it time to let the bones fill in and everything, and it takes time, but I've been on my calcium supplement that I take, that plant-based calcium supplement, and my ankle feels great. But anyways, like, and I started last week, like, implementing my burpees and everything, which if you've heard me before, burpees changed my life a long time ago, and they keep me in wrestling shape. But I had to work my way up again in getting, like, usually if you can do 100 burpees in 10 minutes, that's considered in really good shape.
Okay.
So that's kind of always my guideline, where usually I could do that pretty easy. And then I do extra after that just for my own. I've done upwards of 250 burpees.
Wow.
To really, like, I go all out. Like, I'm very serious about this. As far as, and the more muscle you have your body has to be conditioned.
It's a serious workout too.
That's not
weights.
counting my weights.
Yeah, I know.
My stretching and my rehab stuff.
Just doing burpees, like 1 or 2 burpees, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's no joke. And people, like, I got to do a whole set of, like, I get up and ice my back, and I do my warrior massage gun all over it, on my back and my shoulder and my ankle and my Achilles and all that, and get that all loosened up, and do my foam roller. And then I go to the gym and usually stretch for about 25, 30 minutes, do some active movement stuff, and then huge workout, and then huge conditioning every day. So I feel good and I'm excited. I go to Pennsylvania, come home for a few days, turn around, got to fly over to Scotland for 3 shows, come back for like 2 days, not even, fly back out to Australia for 3 shows and a WrestleMania party. Come home, and then every weekend in April, after, like, all that is appearances and wrestling matches. So, which I got to update. I'm waiting on a few of the promotions to send me the updated posters. Hornswoggle is supposed to send me a poster. He's yet to do it. So if you want me to promote your show, Hornswoggle, send me the poster and the deposit, asshole. No, just send me the poster and get that. So I got a really, really busy March and April here coming up. And then, and we're doing bookings for May, June, and July. Stuff is coming in. But what I'm going to end up doing is seeing how the schedule lays out, and I'm going to get another round of stem cells done in my back and shoulder.
Okay.
Just to keep everything healing. And, like, I'm so thankful, man, that I've been able to have the time to get this stuff. My body was fucked up. So, and you've heard me talk about it on here. So the stem cells this is the best I felt in a long time.
That's good.
Yeah. But I still, like, it's hard. Like, I squatted last week for the first time with 225 pounds, which isn't a lot, but it was just repping it out and to get it's just 245s on each side. And my back hurt really bad after that. It was fine the next day.
Okay.
And then for about 3 or 4 days after that, it was, and I don't know if it was just because it was my first time squatting in like 6 or 7 months or what, but it's not ready for it yet. Or I'm just not, I'm going to give it a little
Probably
more.
your muscles hasn't like.
Yeah, but it's the pain. I can tell because you got to let my disc injuries are serious.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not downplaying that anymore. Like, I'm very lucky that, and I've done a good job of letting my body heal and regenerate through this technology we have now. And the stem cells and the BPC 157, the body protecting compound they have me on. And I'm going to be back full strength again. It's just taking time. So and I'm very optimistic, but I've had to just scale back a little bit. And my weight, like I've always said, I was always 290 or always around that. But that was from eating consistently, constantly, and working out like a madman with extremely heavy weight. And not taking drugs, I have to lift very heavy to look at a certain level. So now I've had to scale back, and my weight's in that 270-ish range, 270, 275. And it's I'm fine. I just want to feel like myself again. I'm used to being at that little heavier. So it might not seem like a big deal to others, but to me, it's like I'm not doing certain things that I used to do. And I love heavy lifting. It just makes me feel good,
but are you feeling pain with your your ankle and stuff?
No, my ankle feels great. Ankle's fine.
Great?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm doing burpees. I jumped rope this week. I've got to do jump rope tomorrow with more burpees tomorrow.
Okay.
And no issues whatsoever. It was just getting the metal removed, and I feel like that metal was restricting my range of motion a little bit. I have better flexibility without it in now.
Yeah.
It was just something I should have had done a long time ago, and I wanted it out a long time ago, but the doctor that fixed me had left that one in, and understandably so. And that guy's passed. He was in a car wreck, and it was a horrible incident, but I'm feeling good, man. I'm just looking forward to getting back out there. It bothers me sometimes and then I say bother me just as far as with some wrestling fans and like these shit talk, man, and just, you're a loser, you're not wrestling. I am wrestling coming up here. I had to take a little time off. I had an unfortunate thing. My dog broke her back. I also needed to take some time off before that. to let this stuff heal. It's like,
Right.
but they don't, and you can't
because
assume.
they don't know. No one knows what your personal life. They assume that
Yeah.
wrestling is your life.
And it's just, I wish some wrestling fans were just better people.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because and there's so many great ones. You don't want to ever let the bad ones ruin it. But there's some really shitty people out there, man.
Yeah.
It sucks. It really does. It just, there's no need to be like that. And you got to have thick skin to be in the wrestling business. Anybody that's in the wrestling business does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like sometimes these people, they just take it too far. And you're just like, man, it just makes you sad. Not for you, for them, that their existence
is what they
is
see on
online
TV.
and all this stuff.
Yeah, on
it's just
TV
like,
or internet, doesn't know.
There's so much more, guys.
Yeah.
So much more.
They're all living in a bubble,
But it is what it is. So Sophie is going to the doctor on Tuesday and get her checkup.
Okay.
So I'll get the next stage with her to see what the next stage is.
Okay.
And she's doing good, making progress, and she hates that crate. But my mom has been a blessing, man. She I don't know if I mentioned it last week. My mom brings her into her room at night and has her all morning so that I'm with her during the afternoon and do her stuff in the afternoon and at night. But my mom's been sleeping on her bathroom floor and shutting the door with blankets so Sophie because can't have her on the bed in case she jumps off at night.
Yeah.
So my mom's been sleeping on the floor because my mom knows I have a bad back right now with everything. And so, and even if she just let Sophie sleep in the bathroom, she could sleep on the bed.
Yeah.
But she's been sleeping with her because Sophie, like
she's just worried about Sophie getting on the bed while she's sleeping.
And Sophie, I take her out and lie her on the couch at night with little guy, and she just loves she's such a loving, affectionate dog, man. It really breaks my heart to see her go through all this, but she's doing good. So
how's little guy's behavior?
He's still being a little shit.
Yeah.
He came in here today, I was telling you.
Yeah.
He opened when I was in the shower this morning, he opens the doggy gate, which I got to get a sliding door put on here.
Okay.
I got quotes for that, for a sliding door from one company, and they knew who I was, and because my email, I emailed them from my business email, and the prices I saw online tripled. And I'll call people out all day long on that. And I go, wait, that's not the price for the door online. But
so because of your name, they doubled the price for you, tripled the price for you.
For a sliding door.
So if I called them up and it's like, I would like to have the sliding door,
it would probably be
a lot less.
So once somebody does that to me, I'm just going to another place.
Yeah, for sure.
It sucks. I wish people weren't like that. And it's, that actually was something I was going to talk to you about. Who do you have your car insurance through?
I'm through Progressive. Because I only have liability because my car is 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't have
When you have a newer car, your rates are way higher too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Vegas, you don't pay.
Vegas is the second highest.
Yeah, because you don't pay state income tax here, but they'll nickel and dime you with everything else. Mm-hmm. So if you ever want to move here, be aware of that. So even if you have a car that's that you had a car for 5 years and stuff like that, they're based on, I think, the blue book value of your car, or the retail or the manufacturer value of your car, and it's a percentage. So let's say your car is $20,000. Your registration out here is
high too.
would be maybe $200 or $300.
Shit, mine was $5 something.
Right, because your car may be what, 40,000 or
I don't even know the exact price.
Yeah.
The truck I paid for in cash up front.
Really? Yeah, but your registration is still going to be high anyway.
Yeah, on both of them.
It's
ridiculous.
But what I found out is that because I had my car in 2004, so I have an old Mazda 6. So I had the car, and so I was paying about $200 because my car was $26,000 when I bought it, and so I was paying about $250 because they're based on what I bought it for, and so I had an issue because I didn't know, because because I was living in Chicago, if you have a lapse in your insurance, you just pay a small fine.
It's a big deal out here.
It's a big deal, but in Illinois, you have to just prove you have insurance.
Yeah.
So there's people out there can drive the car without insurance. and the car insurance won't report it to DMV. In the state of Nevada, if you have a lapse of your insurance company has to let the DMV know. And so even if it's a day lapse, or let's say if you switch to a new insurance company and you had a day or two, whatever, you still have to pay a $250 fine, anywhere from 1 to 30 days. If it's 2 months, 600 or 500.
I always question the rates. It's so extreme that most people, they have to put it on credit cards and go into debt on it. Like I've seen it happen. I've been to the DMV and watched people. They go, "What? Yeah, I don't have that," and they have to put it on a card.
So, but one of the DMV person told me, because like what happened was my car got in a car accident, and so I had to be in a shop, so I had to pay for insurance. But it's like, but I had to pay out of pocket because it was my fault. So it's like, why would I want to pay my insurance for 3 months when I'm not driving it? So that's why I let it lapse. So, but once I got my card, it says no, you have to pay, I don't know, $2,000 or something, $1,000, ridiculous amount. And so, but the DMV told me, it's like, well, kind of like under the table advice. It's like, if you were to sell your car, since your car's already been paid off, you can pretend to sell it to your mom, or like sign the title off to your mom or whatever, and then you can get a car without. You can still drive your car, just get it insured under your mom, and then you won't have to pay the fine. And so, but when
That's nice of them to share that information.
Yeah. So that also, because I had an older car, they base it on the Kelley Blue Book value of my car if I were to sell it to my mom. So it dropped from $26,000. So I think the Blue Book value of my car was $7,000. So I'm paying $90 a year for my car. And so
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And so if you were to pay off your car and you're still paying the insurance, they keep saying that, it's going to be lower next year. It's like, it's just bullshit.
I've dealt with, just so I'm talking about this because it's upsetting. I've had to switch insurances several times because what has happened for me, and outside of having a couple tickets when I was young, one ticket when I was younger, I take it back, and one ticket on the road with WWE in Canada over 5 years ago. Wow. That was that's it. And knock on wood. They unfortunately now they say they reward good drivers. They don't. It's
which company is this?
I'm with Geico right now.
Okay.
I've had to leave them in the past because what happens is you go to them for a year or two. And then what they do is all of a sudden, it's usually after a year. Sometimes it used to not. It's now I'm noticing it's more of a year. You go there for a year, and so I was with Liberty Mutual before. I've been back and forth between Liberty Mutual and Geico multiple times because what happens is, once you're with them for a little bit, then they try to fucking increase your rates. Well, why are you increasing my rates? I have a perfect driving record. There's no issues. I've not had, and what they're now blaming it on is they're saying, well, it's in Nevada, in Las Vegas. You have a great driving record, but we've had to pay out more claims for accidents and this and that. And I go, okay, I understand that. I go, but you charge the people that have the accidents more money, correct? They go, yes. I go, so why am I being penalized for their mistakes? And they said, unfortunately, we can't charge every person $10,000 more. I said, no. You're not charging anyone $10,000 more. I go, why are you charging your great drivers with a great driving history more money? The lady couldn't answer.
It's insurance. It's.
But the key, what I'm trying to get to with people here is when your insurance companies do this to you, you fucking leave. And what you do, it takes a little bit of work, but you start calling around. And I do this every single time. You call around, but I guess what? I called Liberty Mutual, who I was with last year.
Right.
You want to know what they quoted me for a new rate, by the way? This year, my insurance on 2 vehicles, $211 with Geico right now.
For a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Per month. And they wanted to raise my rates $55 a month, Geico, for this next term. I wasn't happy with the answer they provided.
Right.
Call around. So I've already found a better deal with State Farm. That is, I'm going to end up probably going to. Liberty Mutual came back, and I've tried this with a couple different companies. They ask you, if you notice when you call in, they'll ask you, well, what are you currently paying? Well, what business of that is why do they need to know that? That has nothing to do with the quote they're going to provide you.
Exactly.
But it does.
Yeah.
Because the higher the number you give them, that's the number their number is around usually.
Right.
So I tested something out with Liberty Mutual. I gave a ridiculous number just to see.
Yeah.
Because the guy plugs it into the system.
Sure.
And he goes, well, what are you paying a month? And I even told him, I go, what do you like to know? I go, go ahead and give me the quote first. He goes, I got to put something in. I go, put $500 a month. And he goes, 500? I go, yep, put 500. Put 500. Comes back, all right, sir, I got a great rate for you. Blah, just reading the bullshit lines. Yeah. Only $689 a month.
Wow.
I was with them last year for under $200. Jeez. Same coverage, same vehicles, same driver, no more tickets. And I go, that seems like a mistake. I was with you last year and I was paying this amount.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, this is what the computer is giving us. And I go, well, how come you're so much higher than Geico, who's trying to raise my rate to $55? No answer on it. So eventually State Farm is $217 a month. Okay. So that is much more. So I'm calling Geico back this week to inform them. I'm going to give them one more chance. I'm going to ask to speak to a higher up.
Yeah.
I enjoy the process.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I like
and that's the thing, though, when you call, because I actually used to work for Allstate Insurance. That was actually my first 9-to-5 job.
Good hands, right?
The good hands people.
Yes.
I was actually working in the life insurance side, but we do get articles, supposedly we're supposed to get an employee discount. Dude, it's still freaking too high because it's a premium insurance company. Yeah. So they give us like scenarios of how people fraud the insurance company, and that's part of the reason why our rates are higher because. Yes, there's legitimate people that actually
These companies are making so much money.
They're making so much money.
Ridiculous.
Because it's the thing is, you're required by law to have an insurance.
Oh, yeah. You have to have it.
You have to have it. And so...
This is part of my goal of having unlimited wealth.
Yes.
So that these motherfuckers have no control over...
Exactly.
Like, the world is getting... I'm telling people... The world is designed to try to keep people poor,
right?
And it's getting more and more out of hand. The bigger these companies are getting, we are going down a dangerous path.
Yeah,
I'm saying it right here and right now.
Yeah,
it's fucking scary.
So when I worked at Allstate, I actually worked in the service centers. So they had service centers in, I think, Dallas. They have multiple service centers, but they had like one in Chicago and a bunch of others. So my goal was to create a system where they can actually share the same information for the life insurance side. Because what happens is when you call a person up on the phone and give them your insurance policy, and it's like, hey, can I get more information about this? Can you tell me the rate and stuff like that? So there's some people that print out the rates of let's say 2 years ago.
Okay.
That's so outdated. Because they don't have the same information. Yeah. So I guarantee you, if you make a phone call, you're going to get a different person in a different service center that will give you a different information. Like they'll give you different rates, different information, because it's not all the same information, across the board. And so it's just like, and so that was my goal, is to create a knowledge. It's called knowledge management, and so you're sharing the information and make sure you give them the correct information to the customer.
Okay.
And so it's just like when you're calling to a cable service provider or
cable's gone up ridiculously.
Yeah, but if you call them multiple times, you're gonna get different service centers, and so you'll call them. It's like, yeah, well, sorry, we can't give you that discount, and so you hang up. Call again.
Okay.
And then ask them, it's like, hey, is there any discounts? If you try a few times, they'll give you a discount.
Let me ask you a question right now. I believe for my cable bill for cable phone and internet is a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
Is that pretty high?
That's fairly high. Because the thing is, I only have internet. And so
I have like the
package.
Highest internet though.
Yeah,
also
I do
because
too.
Of all the shit that I have pulled from it.
So I originally was paying for this internet alone was like $80 a month. Okay. Yeah. And so then they raised my rate to almost $100 a month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, called them up and it's like, hey, what's going on? Why is the rate? It's like, oh, we, unfortunately with, all the installing new
They always have a
wires,
reason.
you
They
know,
always
whatever,
have a
blah, blah,
reason.
blah.
Yeah.
So what I did is, when I asked him, it's like, well, okay, if that's going to be the case, how much is your highest package, internet, and how much would that be? And it says, oh, it'll be $100 or like $110 or something like that. It's like, okay, well, is there any specials going on? Because I'm thinking about switching to, you know, CenturyLink, which is terrible, but this threatened to leave them. It's like, yeah, like I was thinking about, you know, switching. It's like, oh, let me switch it over to the sales department. They'll switch it over to the sales department and they'll give me the price. It's like, okay, and so they gave me a promotional rate for like 6 months.
Okay.
So basically, after the 6 months over, I'll call them up again. And it's like, hey, is there any like special promotion and stuff like that? Because I'm thinking about switching. And so if you keep track of it and stuff like that, you'll keep the same rate without spending, you know.
You have to stay on top of this, though.
Yeah,
you have to question things.
But this amount of money you save just calling and just asking them, is there any special promotion or whatever? Because I'm thinking about switching.
So that's good advice right there. Ask questions. Mm-hmm. Ask about discounts going on
and
all
call.
Fields of insurance.
And you know what? And call, because different service centers would have different information.
Yeah. I learned that a while back though on things as far as like with the car insurance.
Yeah.
Like you have to be okay leaving your car insurance and going, like, it takes work calling around.
If you threaten to leave, like, it's like, oh shoot, no, we want you to keep you as a customer, because it actually costs more to deal with new customers than to keep your customers.
But it's like the Geico thing. I feel that they should reward great drivers or good drivers and not you're doing nothing but making money off of me. I'm just paying you every month.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same.
There needs to be, I think, like, rather than my rates getting increased, they should go down.
Right.
For that, they shouldn't keep going up. There's no reason for it.
Exactly.
The bad drivers are people. Accidents happen. It could happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been in whatever you call it. But why are my rates continuously going up?
Yeah, people are punishing, or the insurance company are punishing you.
Or they're saying that they're using that as a cover for their profits to continue to go up.
For
That's
sure.
what I'm saying is
the
issue.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's the main issue.
Yeah.
You guys are making money already, but you're dealing with big corporations and companies.
Yeah, because they actually have a lawyer, like a department of lawyers that will that would defend of how much they're paying or how much they're.
This is why I always say there's a right way and a bad way to do business, and the problem is that the bad way is becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah. With
everything in all walks of life, and it sucks. And you got to stand up and ask questions and look around, because there's always a better option. Mm-hmm. There always is. But it takes a little bit of work. But I'd want to, moving on, give a little bit of an update on everything going on for my Finish It branched chain amino acid. It was delayed. I spoke with the owner of the manufacturing company. Thing is, and then we ran out of stock on the Big Guy testosterone booster. We've sold out of it, which it's been moving like crazy. And we're probably a few weeks behind on the manufacturer because the company has been sold, and the owner is still in charge, but another company is taking over the manufacturing facility, which has all the state-of-the-art equipment. They're the number one place. And everything's been everything goes through next Thursday. So it's just been like, it was one of those situations. It was just the worst timing possible, because they were supposed to get my product out and shipped, and they missed it by like 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
And then this stuff is all, while the sale is going on, they're not allowed to conduct any business.
Really?
So it's everything's going to be fine. I just kind of have to sit on my hands for another week or two. Hopefully another week. Everything should be finalized by next Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to have it early the following week after that. So it's just, I've even messaged about even going down there and just going and picking it up, getting a truck and driving it back to Vegas. Just
where is your manufacturing?
Oceanside, California.
Okay.
Near San Diego. So, but everybody out there, it is coming. So just stay tuned with that. And also we're doing, contact me at thebigguy@feedmemore.com. We're getting everything updated on the website also with the forms, which actually you should just use the forms on feedmemore.com, I should say, is the best way to do that, because we need accurate numbers. But we're looking for more Feed Me More nutrition brand ambassadors. It's where you'll have an opportunity. You get your own discount code. You'll earn $100 for every 20 sales with your code on Feed Me More Nutrition supplements. And also you will get an allowance of $200 a month of Feed Me More Nutrition supplements. But we are looking primarily, we're looking for men and women, but more women at this point, because we do very well with men in that demographic. We are looking to increase our sales through the marketing team with women, but we're looking we're looking at everybody still. People with very strong social media followings. If you got like 100 or 200 followers, I understand but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people upwards 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,000.
A million.
We're looking a little more.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand, we're looking to help you. We need you to help us as well. And in the higher numbers you have, the more of a chance there is that when you do your 3 posts a week on the products or this and that we have a chance to redeem that money back and hopefully make some. But it's all about brand awareness, and we're running the campaigns with the marketing team now on Instagram and so on Facebook, and doing some great deals on some ClickFunnels. And you guys are going to be seeing my face out there a lot, whether you like me or not. And it's costing a pretty penny, but it's well worth it. And that's the price you got to pay to get brand awareness and to let people know that you exist and that your product out there works. And we're making good moves. So just give it a little update on everybody on that going on. I was going to ask you, have you ever seen Man vs. Food, though?
Yes. What's the guy's name?
I should know. I just watched the little documentary on it.
Let me see.
I just watched the real story behind Man vs. Food.
Yeah.
And because the show abruptly ended.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a run on it, though.
I think, dude, he ate so much food. I think health.
The hot stuff is what I always heard, something with his stomach lining.
Yeah.
With the hot shit is what fucking got him.
Really?
The documentary, I don't think I just watched. It was like
was it on where'd you saw it?
YouTube.
YouTube?
When you were stuck in traffic, I was just watching different clips in here as I was downloading the Skype.
Oh, Adam Richman.
Yeah, Adam.
Okay.
And they were discussing like all the backstage stuff with him, what he had to do to prep for this, and I always joked around like I would love to do a show like that because it would be
where you will just eat
big guy versus food and just
big guy versus chicken wings.
If I win, it's feed me more. If
I think
lose,
it should be all
done.
Just chicken wings.
Yeah,
it's like nothing but wings.
Just to make it even more special. Yeah, no, but I wouldn't want to do. I'm telling you, man, that I've done that Buffalo Wild Wings eating contest, the blazing wings there.
Oh yeah, it's freaking.
And it was against mostly kids, but I did win.
Yeah. You know,
by the way, you want to know what's the most fucked up thing about all this?
Yeah,
is I do this. I'm there with Roman and the Usos and fucking Curtis Axel. We're driving from a show. We did a live event in Kansas City, and we're driving to whatever the next city was. We wanted to watch the Super Bowl. We all stop and get drunk and fucking eat some food. I get a fucking wild hair at my ass. I want to enter the chicken wing contest. Axel, I want you to film me. Fucking, just all fucking good times. When the contest, the server, turning on the flirting a little bit during
of course.
Any tips for me as far as winning this? And she goes, here's my chapstick. She goes, put a lot of this on before you go over there. She goes, it'll help you with your lips on
for the fire.
Oh,
yeah.
Did it fucking help? It delayed it just enough. I guess this is technically cheating. But anyway, so
no, I mean. I don't think
it was
so.
Inside information. It wasn't a performance enhancer per se.
It was inside information.
But so anyways, she gives me the chapstick right before halftime. I fucking just
wait, hold on. Did she? What was it? Brand new or did she?
No, it was used. I just took my chances. I'm
so you might
drunk at this point.
You might have a little something in your lip or something.
No, but I never have. Everything. This was years ago, so I mean, clearly it hasn't shown itself yet through any blood work or.
Just totally trust it. Here, have this. It was in my mouth before.
At that point, I wanted to win that goddamn contest so bad. You have no idea, Asian Joe. So
wait. So how many wings did you eat?
It was only 10 wings, I believe.
Okay, 10 wings.
But it's the 10 of the blazing.
Right.
So it's like they're fucking unbelievably
so
hot.
You have to eat it all, but do you have
whoever eats it the quickest?
Oh, the quickest. Okay.
Or if you can't finish, But when I get to the table, I'm thinking I'm going to be going up against other fucking burly fucking men
or
with
big
some beard
dudes,
guns,
whatever. Yeah,
bearded fucking bears out there. I don't know. just fucking. I think I look around at the table, and it's all fucking like teenagers, and there was like a girl there, and like all. And kids, and I'm like, who the fuck let these kids sit down? Like, you fucking shitty parents. Like, these wings are hot.
Yeah.
This shit's dangerous. And there was one kid, he was a little older than the other kids, and I could tell he had his eye on me, and I had my eye on him. He was a fucking go-getter. He was...
was it because you're Ryback, and it's like...
I don't know. But he was challenging me. I wasn't losing this thing. I won. I won hands down. But he gave me a run for my money. That kid was fucking putting down those wings. I have a feeling he might have had chapstick and something else on his fucking tongue.
Dude, have you watched that during the 4th of July, the Nathan's food eating contest with the hot dogs?
I haven't seen it recently.
But there was this one chick, it's not the Black Widow or something like that, but some Asian, like small, tiny Asian lady would just kill it. But
it's a genetic thing too. I think I've always been able to eat a tremendous amount of food.
I think Kobayashi won it for a few times, and Chestnut won it. But yeah, these are not fat dudes.
Yeah.
These are like skinny, like they're athletes. They like work out, whatever. But yeah, it's just incredible.
It really is. I'm telling you, I could be the fattest person in the world. Like I have to monitor my eating.
Yeah, dude, like the last time when I fixed your laptop, dude, you ordered chicken wings and you were like on the couch like
I ordered like 24 of them and I can go through them like nothing and I'm not even full. I'm not even when
insane.
I say that I'm not joking.
Yeah.
But I used to see the WWE catering. This is when I knew I had a problem. I had a plate and like Big Show and Mark Henry the same day both goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I didn't even I was so hungry because I would come from working out, shower and get ready, go to the arena. My first thing I did when I got to the arena, drop off my bags and go right to catering, my post-workout meal.
Yeah.
I needed, and I was fucking starving. And I'd already have a big breakfast before. And I was like, man, these guys are these larger-than-life giants, and they're telling me I have a problem.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
I know.
That's why I always say, like, I might have to do a few. There's some challenges in Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
We need to make plans. I'm telling you, if I don't eat for a bit, you would be. I eat all the time, and I can fucking do that. Everyone says it. I would like to be able to fucking prove it just a time or two because I have in the past. But what's one of the challenges out here? Name some challenges you know.
I think there's like a pizza eating contest.
Ooh, I love pizza. Bread and stuff though.
You got to make sure it hits your carb day. You got.
Oh yeah, we'll do it on the carb. No,
it fits in your carb.
I got some tips from Man vs. Food too. He'd go work out like a beast. He said before the competition. I would just time it. No eating all day. I would do a big fast.
Yeah.
He would do club soda the day before and stuff to expand his stomach.
Okay.
And so I would do a little research on this, and then I would go on a fast for maybe a club soda fast.
Okay.
And then I would go hard workout, empty stomach fasting, fucking right into the competition. So what? We got a pizza deal. What's the pizza deal?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's I remember it, but I don't know where it is.
Isn't there like a burger thing too? That heart attack fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, no. I think if you eat. I think they come up with like a huge ass freaking burger.
This is the kind of shit I need on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you can eat within like 30 minutes or something, you get it for free. I think that's. I don't think it's a contest, but I think you get a freaking.
It doesn't matter. You just do it for the
Yeah, but
you got to prove yourself.
But no, a friend of mine.
Food Network, Big Guy versus Food. You need to have some footage of you fucking.
Yeah, a friend of mine. I think in California, there's a pizza place, dude. I'll show you a picture of it. It's some massive. The pizza costs $250.
Whoa.
You can have up to 8 people to help eat this. If you can eat it within, I think, either 30 minutes or an hour.
With 8 people?
With 8 people, you can get the pizza for free.
That has to be one goddamn big pizza.
Yeah. It's like a square. It's like a 4. It's like different, different toppings. But I'll show you a picture of it. It's massive.
Oh, man, I would wake up if that next day with those Ric Flair Love Handles. Ric Flair and Notorious, always in great shape, but he always had that little side cut. I got the same little deal.
Yeah.
They would be fucking hanging over like no other.
But to go back, like thing is, obviously I'm Asian, but Asians are known for spicy and hot stuff.
Okay.
So like India and Thailand known to have the spiciest chili peppers and whatever. When I was a kid, my dad will give me, hey, eat this. Never tell me what it is. Hey, it's good for you. And so that's what he said. It's good for you.
Seems like a pretty shitty thing.
Yeah, and then so I took a bite on it. Freaking eyes start watering.
Oh, he toughened you up at a young age,
dude. It pissed me off, and from that point, I hated.
Do you have
spicy.
Flashbacks if I were like, hey, Asian Joe, have this pizza,
have his pizza, and it's like, oh, by the way, it's ghost peppers on top of it.
Fetal position in the corner of my house, crying like
so.
Daddy,
I hated spicy foods for the longest time, but
no shit.
As I got older, if I know something spicy, I can handle it, like spicy hot wings or whatever. I can handle it. But if they surprise me, I'll be fucking pissed off. It's like, no, I'm eating this shit. Ooh. So yeah, it like people look at me. It's like, Joe, you're Asian. You should like spicy food. It's like, hey, you know what? Not all Asians like spicy food.
Yeah, we live in a world of stereotypes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I saw a video of I think it's in LA or something. A guy's pulling up to a parking spot. I guess it was busy, whatever. This Asian lady runs in, stands in the parking spot, and basically says, I claim this parking spot. My car's right there. Yeah. So they're recording this the entire time. And then I guess the Asian mother stands in the parking spot. It's like, nope, this is our spot. Whoa. And then another Asian, like a whole group of Asian ladies standing in the parking spot is like, this is my spot. It's like, dude, like I'm about to pull in this car, and so like if that
were they all in one car?
I guess they were all in one car, and I guess somehow
they were waiting for the spot.
They're waiting for a spot.
No, jump out and go get it.
Yeah, jump out and go get it. It's just like in Chicago where if you dig like during the snow, like during the winter, like if you dig your car out, you put a chair and a broom to basically say, "Hey, this is my spot when you leave," because I dug.
Oh wow!
So they claimed the spot because because in Chicago it's a tight parking.
Get out and throw that shit somewhere. Oops!
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Exactly.
It wasn't there when I pulled in.
But like I'm looking at the comments. It's like one of it is like, as a fellow Asian, I apologize. I didn't. It's like what makes you. Okay, fine. It's
the best part is though, all this stuff has always gone on. By the way,
yeah,
we just now have the technology to capture it.
Because
nothing has really changed that much.
Of course not.
Outside of the obsession of looking at it on the.
But yeah, I mean, there's rude people regardless of what race you are.
Oh, this is. Yeah, we're pretty tame compared to what we probably used to be. Like we were killing each other at one point just fucking.
But like, what would you like? What would you do if someone did that? Would you leave and
get
find
out
a parking?
Fucking meat hook that fucking bitch. What are you talking about? What would I do? Fucking double meat hook. Bam.
Yeah.
Shell shock. Fucking park.
But
I'm kidding.
Dude, I would hold on to my horn the entire time, just to draw out people. But I also thing is that when I got my new car, I actually upgraded my car horn. Because like the cars you get from the manufacturer go beep beep beep.
Wait, you can change your car horn?
Yes. So
feed me. That would be.
Well, like how like those customs like La Cucarachas and you can.
Yeah.
So, but I actually changed my horn. That's 139 decibels.
That's pretty high.
That's pretty high. So if you're standing in front of it, you'll lose your hearing. So
those Asians would have moved if you had that.
Oh yeah, if I clearly they would so move, or I'll get a bunch of people like draw attention to it.
Yeah.
But another one is
how do you get your horn changed? I never even knew that.
You can buy a horn. You can buy
they do customs?
No, it's just like you can just easily replace it. It's either underneath your car or maybe it depends on.
But I'm sorry, as far as how do you customize the sound?
I think those are a little more special because you might have to.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, you might have to change. You might have to change the circuitry and the fuses and stuff like that, the wiring. So you might have to get it professionally done.
Go to Feed Me More Nutrition, available on feedmemore.com.
Yeah,
sounding really ridiculous.
You can get that.
I would just be honking all the time, just you can go to jail.
Yeah, but there's some that you can go to AutoZone and get a horn that's because my the horn I used to have it had an electronic synthesizer that or air horn that makes it 139 decibels, but unfortunately that stopped working, and so I replaced it to 125.
Okay,
so it's a little lower, but you can still
a little safer for everyone's ears.
But the neighbors would hear it.
Oh yeah, I bet, man.
Yeah.
That's.
But yeah, that's.
I like learning about new things. I'm going to look into custom car horns here.
Yeah,
see
there
what
you
I
go.
can find.
Bring it in.
Airbrush the truck and with Feed Me More Nutrition with just the fucking custom horn.
Yeah.
All right. I think we'll go ahead. We're going to take a break right here. We'll come back. We got some questions, reviews. We have a lot of questions this week. I think I want to get to some of those. And I think we have a negative review this week, which we will share. And tips of the week right after these messages, guys. Hey guys, this is the big guy Ryback, and I want to personally say thank you to you guys, our great listeners and supporters, for an amazing 2017. 2018 is surely going to be even better. Feed Me More Nutrition, my natural premium sports nutrition company, had a phenomenal first year, and that's thanks to you. We are adding Finish It Branch Chain Amino Acid Electrolyte Pump Matrix to the lineup for 2018 and have even more exciting custom formulas coming in the upcoming months. If you've been putting off getting in better shape and getting healthy for not only you, but your loved ones, now is the time to do it. Whether it's consuming more lean protein, burning some unwanted pounds, increasing your natural testosterone and sex drive, or ramping up your energy levels, Feed Me More Nutrition has you covered. As always, positive Amazon reviews are greatly appreciated. 2018 is your year. Get hungry, stay hungry, feed me more. Okay, we are back. It's time now for our tips of the week. Tips of the week, yay! Book of the week this week. I am surprised. I actually thought I maybe I did read this earlier, but I can't find it. I got to go back and maybe double check my bookshelf in my office. But I downloaded it on Audible this week. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. A classic, and I'm just about done with it, man. It's I wish I would have read this a little sooner, but it's a great book, and maybe I did, but sometimes just listening to it, it's listening to a book for the second time, and if not for my first time, it's a good book. It gives you a different perspective on things. Quote of the week this week is by Malcolm X, and it's: the media's the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent, and that's power because they control the minds of the masses. And I just want you guys to know I experience this stuff on a lot as far as certain people, and they want to try to portray this different image and different things. And if something's accurate about me, I'll fully admit it, guys. It sucks though when people have to create lies or alter the truth to try to fit their agenda for money. And it goes on every day. So that's why it's okay to be online and look at things. Just question the source at times.
Of course.
And you have to. Yeah. Just be aware that the world revolves around money. Everybody involved in media is making money. Mm-hmm. So you have to ask yourself, what sells typically, Asian Joe? Negativity, right?
Exactly.
So what do? They try to find negativity. They try to find something negative, or they try to portray something as negative to make them more money. That's all I'm going to say on that. Nutrition tip of the week. I got asked earlier in the week another low-calorie snack besides pickles that, and this is, I guess, kind of different, that you could eat to fill cravings late at night. Mm-hmm. Cucumbers. Yes. Which, with low-fat or fat-free ranch, and maybe that and a little potassium or a little sea salt on those. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, man, a half a cucumber has 20 calories. So a whole cucumber is around 40, 50 calories.
It's mostly water. Much, yeah.
If it's green, you'll stay lean. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I've always gone by, and it's the truth. So if you have pickles and, just go the cucumber route. And it's broccoli's another cold broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, it's just you just gotta make sure, like with salads or stuff like that. Salad itself with no dressing, whatever, it's good for you. But if you add the dressings and like crackers and cheese, that's where most of your calories are coming from.
The key, and I told people this before, and I'll buy those big things of salad, and like sometimes I'll get kale and put some, because kale's really good for you too.
Yeah.
But you get like the fat-free Italian and a little fat-free ranch. Those are the lowest calorie dressings, and there's no fat. Carbs are minimal in those also. And you just put enough in there, and you mix it up really good. Because oftentimes people put too much dressing.
Yeah.
You just put a little, but you mix it up really, really good. And I'm not even joking. If you can get salad tongs and mix it up really good.
Yeah.
Use your fucking hands and actually mix it up and get the dressing dispersed. And then you wash your hands after, obviously.
Well,
or just be like, I'm just going to eat this right now. But telling you can use minimal dressing and actually get it dispersed on all the lettuce.
Actually, another tip is if you use a fork and dip the dressing first, then put it on, then get it salad, because you're actually knowing how much dressing you're using.
You just get like a little container like you do for your chicken wings late at night from Postmates.
And then use your fork, dip, because normally when you dump like ranch or whatever, dressing,
you dump way more than you need because it doesn't because you're trying to get in on every piece of lettuce, but you don't need you got globs of it on certain.
So basically, if you take, even like take a fork, dip it in a dressing, and then pick up a couple leaves.
That's a good idea. You just get a little container of fat-free ranch or I personally. I got it down pretty good to a science where I could just sprinkle a little bit over the top. I do a little drizzle and a little drizzle of fat-free ranch. Mm-hmm. It's probably a serving of each.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's but I mix it in where I get it covered on all the lettuce.
Right.
That I can, because I also, when you dip, you got to eat a little slower.
Yeah.
I eat pretty rapidly.
Well, but they said that if you eat slower, it gives time for your digestive.
You feel fuller quicker too, right?
Quicker, yeah.
But I'm also I'm not going to eat anymore after that anyways, so I'll just suffer.
Right.
I'm just trying to eat that food in the quickest amount of time possible, respectfully. So, but that's the nutrition tip of the week this week, guys. My workout fitness tip of the week, dips. I was able to do dips for the first time today for my triceps. And because my shoulder is finally feeling really, really good. A way to enhance dips are the ultimate tricep builder. 3-second holds on the top and bottom portion. So, and usually today was just 10 reps for 5 sets at the end of my workout. But what I'll do is on the bottom portion, I'll hold it for 3 seconds, and then I'll come up and squeeze for 3 seconds. And you might not be able to do 10, you might be able to do more. But it really, really helps you contract that muscle, and it's a great tricep builder. And that is the tips of the week this week. You want to go ahead, Asian Joe? We got a review this week.
Yes, we have one.
Before I get into some questions on Instagram,
right,
from our faithful listeners. Reviews of the week.
I mean, unfortunately, we have one negative review, but it's actually a good. We always like getting Chris. No,
it's okay. People, you're allowed
feedback.
To be. Yeah.
We got a 1-star. It says. Not what it used to be. From Young Guns. Since they switched host, I couldn't listen anymore. I listened to Ryback because he has interesting insights on wrestling, nutrition, and lifting. But the show has become a little more about, too little about those topics and more about sex and porn.
No, I can understand his frustrations on that. Absolutely. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, we did.
And that's one of the reasons I brought Mike Ace Malero onto the show to do the wrestling news. I love you in Phoenix. You guys aren't wrestling fans necessarily for today's product or what's going on. And whereas I come from the wrestling thing, I like talking about other things other than wrestling. I do like talking about wrestling also. The old format was more wrestling dominant. I get it. I didn't ask for things to switch the way they did. I had to adjust. I had to keep things on track and do the best that I could with everything. And Phoenix stepped in on very short notice and saved the day to keep this show going. Doing a podcast by yourself is extremely difficult. It's not something I like having someone to talk to, and I enjoy being around other people. And and her bringing you on, Asian Joe, it's something I truly enjoy doing. But at the same time, I understand that when you have listeners, you want to be able to give them you want to give them the content they want to hear. You can't just always talk about what you want to talk about, and I understand I have a large wrestling fan base, so that is something, and that has been neglected a little bit over the last few months, 3 or 4 months. So that is why we are featuring the wrestling portion of the show a little more now, and Ace is really helping out big time, and he keeps up with everything going on, where I can kind of interact with that, and you can hear. Not everybody watches wrestling, but I understand I have a large wrestling following. I am who I am because of wrestling, and I am thankful for that and respect that. So it's we're gonna do our best, guys, to try to accommodate you, and where I can give my insight on things going on and whatnot. So and if Phoenix keeps going to hockey games, she might not be doing the show as much. So, but hopefully that's not the case.
No, it's not the case. But I mean, no, it's like she's going. Phoenix is going away in the adult industry anyway. She's retired, but
she has a regular job as far as being busy and working long hours.
She's just a sexual person, and that's how it is. And I kind of
there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think
it's absolutely not.
I understand though from them they want wrestling content, and it's we've gained new followers that do want to hear about that stuff as well. So it's a kind of a happy medium. Yeah. Of appeasing your audience and whatnot. So,
for sure.
And again, we're human, guys. We're
I mean, we love the feedback. We actually got more feedback than criticism. But anywhere to improve the show and stuff like that. Any ideas, whatever, we'll greatly appreciate it. And now,
absolutely.
And now that we have the equipment to do that, I mean, we can have fans call in and ask questions.
And that's what we're going to do. Be doing more guests and things moving forward. We've got the podcast studio set up. We have everything, the new equipment to do the guest and to have a little more fan interaction. And like this, what was his name?
What's that?
The reviewer's name?
Young Guns.
And I feel like that was a respectful negative review. Like he didn't necessarily.
He
didn't say you're a piece of shit. Like
how sometimes I gotta stop.
If there's an example to leave a negative review, I feel like that's more. I'm not offended to that at all. I understand, and that's why I'm like that's a respectful way of saying you don't enjoy the show as much as you did, and we will take that into account, and hopefully we can give you, not that you have to listen to the whole show, but hopefully if you just enjoy listening to the wrestling portion, hopefully the way the changes we are making, you will be able to enjoy that part moving forward. So thank you for your feedback very much. With that being said, I don't think we're going to pick a review of the week.
No.
But we appreciate the positive feedback.
Yeah.
It's a very good review in all seriousness, and I understand it completely. So it's go ahead, but you can email Phoenix for a signed 8x10 for Phoenix Marie
we should.
On her Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would be more than happy to oblige. All right, moving on. We're going to get to we have a lot of questions tonight, Asian Joe. And a lot of these are really good. I want to do be a little more fan interactive, and you guys asked some really good questions, and it's you have some really bad ones at times, but I'm gonna go ahead. Start with Jamie San 03. What got you into wrestling? How has it changed your life? At the Big Guy Ryback 22. My buddies Justin and Jimmy Belanger that grew up down the road from me I watched it when I was really young, and then I kind of fell off, and when I was around, I don't know, like that 9, 10, 11, that 9, 10-ish, I think it was more kind of my buddies. It was during like the Bret Hart, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, that whole era, and they were so into it, and they got me back into it. And I became obsessed with it as a kid. Just as far as I never had like wouldn't wear the wrestling T-shirts or the belts, but I just enjoyed. Me and my buddies would always wrestle. It was always me versus everybody, essentially, like in the neighborhood. Like we'd never have sleepovers and shit, and I was always kind of the big kid. Fucking, it was because of them, and it was it changed my life because it's what I did with my life, and I'm very thankful for that, even despite what some publications might have you think. So it's everything I have is because of wrestling and because I've applied myself and worked very hard for that, and I'm beyond thankful. And I look forward to many, many more years of it when I am completely healthy here. Moving on from, the name is a lot of different letters.
Oh, no.
It's like JXSHMC, BXRI, NX, a lot of stuff. I can't even say it. Who did you enjoy working the most in WWE? And again, I've answered this multiple times. I always leave him off, but I enjoyed working pretty much everybody there. It was everybody's different, but Rusev and Seth Rollins were always the two. I worked them a lot at different points, and I've mentioned that because I got along with those guys really well.
I'm actually looking at a lot of the tweeted feedback about you commenting on his life.
On the Twitter, I haven't even seen the Twitter.
Dude,
I don't have it on my phone.
They like screen caps. They actually screen capture some your comments.
Yeah, well, I got a question at the end. I was going to discuss
okay.
a little more.
Yeah.
It's I've mentioned from the beginning, me and Rusev. People, this is the day, the era we live in where people just want to hate just to hate, and they don't care. But anyways, Dolph Ziggler. I wish I could have wrestled him more when I was there, and. But when I first turned heel, even my babyface stuff, but when I first turned heel, I believe I wrestled him on some live events on a Christmas loop. Fuck, it was so much fun. Again, one of my good friends, so people will get this, and I always gave him shit because he would copy the Cena formula a little bit. Give me a punch, brother, and I would just punch Dolph. But he had the same reaction Cena had when he was a babyface at that point in time, where you can give him one thing and the crowd would start cheering for him to fucking come back. And it was fun. It was easy and fun. And Dolph's one of my favorite people, one of my good friends. So if I ever shit talk him, it's because we're fucking friends, guys. So chill out. Looking for questions that weird. Have you ever gone back to Smoky Bones by Mike P. 40C? Yeah, several times. The Louisville location that I worked at, and it always brings a smile to my face because I remember where I was at mentally. I remember having nothing. I remember living day to day and having to work, multiple 12-hour days during the week. And there's nothing. A lot of people do that every day, and it's nothing. I'm not bragging about it. But it was a tough period, but also a great period of my life. Where I became woken, I guess is the word that people use these days. Whew. What is the best, most favorite moment of your whole wrestling career? By Abraham Dean, period 05. A lot of great memories, guys. We've kind of touched on this before. For me, and I've mentioned this already, but after winning the Intercontinental Championship, it was the guys in the back. Round of applause outside the gorilla position. The respect amongst your peers is the highest compliment you can ever get in professional wrestling. Because they are the ones that see, or kind of can see, the work you're putting in or what you've gone through, the things you've been through. And each and every one of us have been through our own things. So that to me was, again, probably the best moment of my wrestling career. Because that was, they'd seen a lot of the shit that had happened. And it was guys I came up with through developmental. And to this day, I think about that moment quite a bit. Because in the winning... The title, none of that means anything. It doesn't, as far as it's that moment coming to the back is what it is all for. And had I gone back there and it would have been empty, I would have known I maybe wasn't doing things right.
Okay.
And it wasn't like that. So that was a good moment for me. professional wrestling fan, who is a guy you feel who has the talent to main event a WrestleMania who hasn't? There's a lot of guys. You got. I think I'm not going to give. The majority of guys on the WWE roster can main event if they're put in that position.
Yeah, otherwise they wouldn't be on.
Yeah,
on WWE.
And not everybody, but the majority.
Right.
It's all dependent on. I always tell people this. That it's like when you go to a movie. There's different roles, right?
Yes.
Actors, there's your lead actors, and you have guys that are playing side characters, and you have guys that get killed off very early in the movie. Let me ask you something. A guy that, say there's a guy and he does 10 different movies and he gets killed off early in 10 of the movies, or his role ends early in the...
Or if it's a black guy. Usually, but I'm kidding.
We'll go Asian, just so
we're Asian.
To avoid the stereotype. Would you think that guy is a loser in life? Or that guy is a piece of shit or a failure?
No.
Why would you not think that?
Because he's getting paid to be in the movie.
He's doing what he's asked to do, right?
He's doing what he's asked to do.
That is what everybody in wrestling is doing.
Exactly.
This is what I think is the most important thing for wrestling fans to understand. Nobody fails, nobody wins, nobody loses. Everybody plays their part to perfection.
Right.
Time and time again. That's it. Just understand that. Moving on. Do you celebrate Rusev Day? Every day. I actually have a banner in my house of him with me in the camel clutch with a chain around my mouth celebrating Rusev Day because he's one of my favorite people on the entire planet. Moving on. Hey, Ryback, my wife wants to know, out of every bottle of wine you have ever tried, which one is your most favorite? Hashtag feed me more. Ryback fanatic.
I think you mentioned this in the couple.
Menage a Trois is kind of my go-to.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. No, but it's cheap and it tastes good to me. Everyone has different taste.
How much is the bottle?
It's fucking between $10 and $15, maybe $14.99 tops. It's not expensive at all. It's I haven't had wine in quite a bit actually. I might need to do that on Carb Day eventually. From official photo page, when will you come back in front of the WWE universe? Hashtag feed me questions. It's right now we've talked about everything, guys. I need to get healthy and do my thing. I left for my reasons, and it was a blessing that I did, because if I would have stayed for one more year, I would have been forced to not wrestle anymore with my disc injuries. And I've always been protected my entire life, and it was a blessing. I can't stress that enough, and I've talked about it on this show, and I wish more people understood. It was I've downplayed it a little bit of probably how serious it's been. My back stuff has been beyond serious, and I'm now at a good position. I've been for a bit. But it takes constant work, and it's going to take more stem cells. But between that or having back surgery and never being able to wrestle again, I think I'm doing all right now. Mm-hmm. And I've talked about that backpack stunner. That was the only thing that was causing it, those ass bumps. And I'm lucky. Because nobody in wrestling really has done that move on a consistent basis with a guy on their back and taking that ass bump. And it was a cool move. But if you do ass bumps, guys, I'm telling you, be careful. Limit them, and don't do it with people's weight on your back, because it is, trust me, it's not, you don't want to go through it. It's not fun. What are your thoughts on the Moolah Battle Royal situation? Viking Beard 96. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. I'm happy, though, that all the women will get to be featured on WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes, as a talent, you're upset when you're not on the main card. There are only so many slots, for people on the show. Right. So it's a shitty situation, and everybody's case is a little different than everybody else's, but it's at least everybody will be able to perform in front of, a large amount of people. Yeah. So moving on. So hold on, I'm trying to see. We got to see. What are your feelings on intergender matches, man versus woman? And will you ever make a powdered fat burner or testosterone booster? That is an option on the products, as far as, because I know the capsules can sometimes be a bit much for some people. But also when a product works, typically people don't care about the capsule count. But yes, as we continue to grow to and expand, that stuff is stuff I got notes on all of that, and it's that would be down the line. Powders are typically not as
not strong.
No, outside of like pre-workouts and stuff.
Okay.
Capsules typically sell better than powders for that kind of stuff. But if there's a market for it, and as the brand continues to grow and expand, you try to do things to appeal to all people. Right. So that will be an option down the road. Yes. Right now, we got other priorities right now, so that is not on the list of things to do in the immediate future. But down the road, yes, trust me, notes have been taken on that.
So what about the other question about men versus women?
Oh, thank you, Asian Joe.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on intergender matches, men versus women? Tough call. Wrestling is supposed to suspend your belief, and in different situations in the past they have done it. You don't see it in the UFC,
right? For
good reason. And not to say that you can't make a man versus woman fight with different talents and whatnot. But it's
there's an actual. I think I read somewhere that there's a transgender, a man is wrestling. As
I
a
saw
woman.
something with that.
Yeah, and then constantly wins all the time.
Yeah.
So
that's a tough one.
That's
a
tough one because you're still you're saying that you're a woman, but you have
the testosterone of a man, he might be on hormones or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but still has tough. Yeah,
it's tough. You know, I have transgendered friends. Some are very feminine.
Yeah,
but some transgenders are still has male features.
Yep.
So it's like you can't say that.
That's tough when you're dealing with competition.
Yes.
Because now you're dealing with. I would be curious to see how he performed against other men his size.
Yes.
Because I don't know. It just would be curious to see that. Because it's one of those things. Because what if he dominated them too? And that he's just this really good wrestler,
right?
And then, but if he gets his ass kicked by them,
then
I don't know. That's one of those. There's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong, but it's just like you want to have a fair fight.
Yeah,
and if
as an athlete, you want
exactly like with when we talked about earlier about the steroid use.
Yeah.
It's like you want to have an even playing field. So if you're a woman, born a woman, and then all of a sudden you're facing someone who's a lot stronger than you because they have their hormones and stuff like that. When as a man, there's no equal level.
Yeah.
Even though that person's saying that no, I'm a woman, I see myself as a woman and I want to be a woman. Your body is not. Your body is not going to be compared to the other woman.
Yeah, this is like all new territory.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's really, as far as rules go on that, it's
tough.
My thing is with a transgender person like that, you need to create a new category. But there needs to be enough of them to be able to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you can't. That should be a different category.
Yeah.
In my
opinion.
Mean,
it's a fine line of being equal or equality versus actually being physically.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
That's something that can't be answered as far as the simplest. It's to me. Here's the equivalent of that as far as that goes. With the men's and women's bathrooms, with the transgender people, and there's that the conflict with that. You just create a third bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Or a unisex bathroom.
Yeah.
I've been in unisex bathrooms and no problem.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
It might cost a little more money for different, but it solves a problem
where it solves a problem.
Nobody gets offended.
Yeah.
Who's going to be offended? They have their own bathroom. Cool. No problem. People over here, people over here. To me, that's the easiest fix without offending people. Because one way or the other, you offend people. Whether, and then there's people that aren't offended, but in this day and age, people want to find a reason to be offended. So don't give them the option. Let's third bathroom, unisex bathroom, transgender bathroom, whatever. Create a new thing for it. Problem solved. In my opinion. That's it. Moving on. There was a couple. I want to get to one really good question down here. Are you pursuing any type of return to WWE or wrestling in general? Yep, we talked about it on here. I've got my wrestling appearances on the independent promotions coming up on March and April. And it's going to be very, very busy, and see how my body feels. Get a couple more stem cell procedures done, and I should be good to go. WWE, now there's been no, outside of my contact with my ankle situation. It's...
Well, how's that with your ankle situation? Didn't you say that there was a woman that does all the, is it the paperwork or
WWE? They're waiting to, as far as what?
I don't know. Wasn't there a pregnant lady that was?
Oh yeah. And they're, as far as paying for everything.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting.
You're still waiting.
Yeah, which I was told I was going to be. I would know in the next week or two. So it's, well, either way, I don't. I would just hope, for the sake of, from that fucked up situation,
they would make it right.
It was an extremely fucked up situation, which is not. It's unfortunate. This is a good question. Who do you think could be a better choice to be champion right now from the two guys beside you in the picture of Luke Harper and Rusev? I think both of them would make good champions, and Rusev right now has a lot of momentum with the Rusev Day that I think they need to capitalize on. And I think they have a huge opportunity listening to the fans. I think the reason why Rusev is accepted by them now is from his appearances on Total Divas and his Instagram videos of showing his true personality. He's a really, really good fucking human being, which is why we're friends.
Yeah.
And I think that they should listen to that and make money with that.
Yeah.
And they don't do that nowadays. So it's but Luke Harper is a workhorse, and I've seen him have main event matches with different guys. It's just a matter, he's in a tag team situation. I hope they get an opportunity to win the tag team championships. But he's not only a great human being, he works really hard, doesn't do drugs that I know of. And he should have an opportunity to be featured a lot more. So, and hopefully he does. He's well liked by everybody. Big Luke Harper fan over here. Yeah. I botched that, Luke. Sorry, haven't done it in a while. He does. Yeah. It's a little fucking thing he doesn't, or he used to. He doesn't do it now as a bludgeon brother. Now he beats people with hammers, power bombs their head on the edge of steps. Kidding. I know that was Xavier's idea, guys. All right, and there was one other question I wanted to get to by Locked On GT. This is from the Rusev stuff we talked about, were the comments on the Instagram thing. Are you so desperate for publicity that you accuse certain WWE employees of steroid use on their fucking live streams, like you've never used them? Bollocks. Yes, I've used them from 20 to 24. I'm 36 now. It's been a long time. And I've actually talked to this person, and everything has seemed to be smoothed over. I'm sure you guys out there have friends. Do you bust your friends' balls?
Oh, all the time.
That's what friends do, right?
Dude, on set, we bust each other's balls.
When you're friends with somebody, that gives you permission to bust their balls, essentially. And it's like, that's what.
You know, thing is, the way I see it is like, if friends don't make fun of you, they don't care about you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when he stop making fun of you, then they don't.
It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But that's how it. All my friends that I talk to, we all bust each other's balls in a respectful way usually.
Yeah.
But
it's like, you know,
he does that to me. And I've talked about it. He's made comments on my thing about things of that nature.
Of course.
And I do it back to him. And it's but you guys are looking for every reason to hate people and get upset. And God damn it, I've said, we're like, just knock this shit off, guys.
You know that comedian Ricky Gervais?
Yeah.
He would say the most ridiculous thing.
Comedians have it worse than anybody.
Yeah, comedians have it worse.
They can't even tell jokes anymore.
Yeah, but so his new comedy special called Humanity came out on Netflix.
Okay.
You should definitely see it. It's so funny. But at the end of the show, he said something that kind of, I always think about it. If you think of something funny, say it. Win, lose, or draw, go for it.
Yeah.
That's good advice. That's the thing, though. It's like
laughter is the key to life, man.
Exactly.
The whole point, life. There's so much fucked up shit in life. Like, life is fucked up. There's the only thing we have is laughter.
Yeah,
like that's
humor and everything. Yeah,
humor makes the world go round, whether people want to believe it or not. It really does. And like, goddamn, two friends having fun, laughing, and you guys get so goddamn fucking upset and so pissed off. The problem is people are focusing on other people's lives and business rather than their own. Knock it off, guys. Grow up. That's all I'm going to tell you. Yeah. It's either you get it or you don't. It's like, if you want me to be this big, bad, vicious guy, it's like, fuck, quit reading this online shit and believing everything. These people are making money, guys. They're making money and fucking with your emotions. Be mad at them. I don't tell them to take something and then alter the article and lie about it to write about me. Mm-hmm. I've been gone for nearly 2 years. I don't give a fuck if they write about me. I'm living my life. I'm doing other things. I'm having fun. I'm making money. I'm happy being home right now at this period of my life. Like, fucking get over it. It's not me. It's them. These people sit Ryback trying to be relevant. These so quote unquote journalists are the ones writing the article. They're the ones trying to keep me relevant. I am not asking them to write the articles about me. They are doing it, and they're not even writing accurate articles. They are taking it and fabricating it into something entirely different. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at these people. They can't report the truth, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. I wish them the best, though, and I hope they do report the truth in the future. But with that ends our questions of the week this week. A lot of questions. I wanted to feature those a little more as well.
Okay.
But I believe it's my turn for the song of the week, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a song right here. Give me 1 second. Zombie by Bad Wolves.
Bad Wolves.
You've heard of it before, right?
Probably. Is it
I'm going to play it before.
This came out?
This is once the song is going, you'll listen to the podcast.
Okay, I'll listen to the podcast.
The beginning, I didn't recognize it when I heard the beginning.
Okay.
And then once the song, you've heard it a million times. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
It's one of those deals. Asian Joe, anything you want to plug to wrap up this week's show without Phoenix Murray?
AsianJoe.com. It's just gonna be a blog about my adult life, me.
You're an angel in my eyes, Angel Joe, as I said.
Or I'm a hoe. What was it? What did Phoenix say?
It was something about the turtle fucking April.
Oh, that's right. I was a Ninja Turtle.
I didn't see that. I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah. I'm an angel.
You're an angel.
Twitter, Webmaster Joe, and Instagram. And back to you.
For my fan mail, guys, thank you for always sending me everything. I always do my best to get back to all of you. P.O. Box 752740, Las Vegas, Nevada 89136. Check out Feed Me More Nutrition, Feed Me More, and Ryback merch on Amazon under Feed Me More or Feed Me More Nutrition on Amazon. Feed Me More Nutrition available on Amazon, feedmemore.com, eBay, and also in Las Vegas at Spartan Nutrition and Wise Chiropractic. For personal video shout-outs by myself, check out bookcameo.com/thebigguy.Ryback. From all my wrestling appearances, please contact Paula at bookthebigguy@yahoo.com. Wake Up, It's Feeding Time, my motivational book, available on Amazon in paperback, Audible, and Kindle form. Mats. God, I botched that one bad. Reading that really slow. I'm looking because I had pro wrestling bookings again on there. I'd forgotten I'd written it on it earlier. Fuel Meals, my personal meal prep service. FuelMeals.com. Save 15%. No longer 10. We are now giving you 15% off on FuelMeals.com with discount code TheBigGuy. Social media, follow us at CWTBG and at Ryback22 on Twitter, at Feed Me More Nutrition on Facebook, at The Big Guy Ryback22, and at Feed Me More Nutrition on Instagram. Ryback247 on Snapchat, even though I don't use that one quite as much anymore, but that's about it for me. Anything else from you, Asian Joe?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. You've just listened to another episode of Conversation with the Big Guy.